No one ever talks about how K-pop itself scams and lies to fans. K-pop fans blindly follow their biases and never realize the subtle things that K-pop meticulously does that fans fall for time and time again. Well, that time is over. I'm going to shine some light on these scams. First one up, buying multiple albums. K-pop companies have hit on a moneymaker. They distribute multiple versions of the same album with different album covers or provide collectible photo cards inside that are unknown until you open it, thus forcing true fans to buy multiple copies to get the one they want, or all of them, but in the end, they're all the same songs on each album. There's nothing else that differentiates them, and albums aren't cheap. Does anyone remember when SM released 20 different designs of EXO's 2015 album? This also inflates the sales numbers too. Fans think the artist breaks records for the number of albums sold, but how many are actually unique buyers? They're just a fraction of the total. And my ass barely has enough to buy one album. I got bills and shit. This inflation's already causing my bank account to hold on for dear life. I don't need K-pop adding to it, thank you very much. Next one up, image manipulation. Photoshopping, essentially, a common problem across the world. K-pop is no different. Sometimes it's more whitewashing where the image is manipulated to make the idol skinnier, thinner in the face, or having lighter skin. Especially in the lighter skin part, because Koreans love the paleness. K-pop agencies may carefully curate the image of their idols, often presenting them as perfect, flawless, and always happy. This can create an unrealistic expectation for fans and can be harmful to the mental health of idols who may feel pressure to maintain this image. It's a vicious feedback loop. Next up, let's talk about streaming numbers and trend manipulation. In the last 10 years, I have ranted on numerous occasions about my issue with streaming numbers and trends. K-pop fandoms have this obligation to be a team player and work together to set records for streaming and album sales so the artists can be at the top of the trends. I mean, it's a great marketing strategy implemented by the K-pop companies, but oftentimes, I find these efforts and numbers achieved also falsely get the perception of the overall power that K-pop has in the music industry as a whole. If you have 1 million people streaming a song 20 times, that's not the same as 20 million people streaming it once. It's very misleading. Kind of like how I told my partner I'd be calm and collected, but he obviously did not read the fine print. Moving on, let's talk about idols being pure. The fact that fans think most idols are pure and never engage in sexual relations is laughable, especially when some of their own music contradicts it. I've covered this in previous videos, and these people are fertile. These are grown men and women, and if they want to experiment and engage in activities behind closed doors, then it's none of our business. They're talented and sexy, whether they're working their other skills with others or not, so don't expect them to be these innocent figures. You're just fooling yourself. They're pure like a horse wetting in church. Next one, let's talk about idol dating. Many idols are forced to adhere to dating restrictions or give a perception that they're married to their fans and will never date anyone, as if they have no attraction to anyone else in their lives. That's a total lie, honey. They're finding ways to get their groove on, and fans act surprised when an idol comes out saying that they've been in a relationship for years or have knocked someone up. Come on! They weren't going to get with you anyway, except for the moments where they impregnate us and doing God's work of restoring the increase in birth rate. Wonho knows what he's doing, and I'm still waiting on child support from his ass. Next one. K-pop and politics. I went into more detail on this on my history of K-pop controversies and world politics video a few years ago, but essentially K-pop companies force idols to share opinions to appease certain audiences, even if they might not actually agree with it. The One China policy is just one example in which acts support the unification of Taiwan and China. These guys and gals are supposed to be entertainers, not political pawns. Treat K-pop like genitalia. Keep politics and religion to yourself. Don't go swinging it around at me. Another one is the high ticket prices. Well, we all know this isn't exclusive to K-pop. This is a global problem. But there are some K-pop companies who charge more than others for the same quality acts. Don't think we didn't notice. Do I need to remind you of what inflation has done to my bank account? Now let's talk about the idea of every idol being perfect. Fans need to understand that every K-pop idol is human. Therefore, they're not perfect. It's shameful for companies to get this perception that these idols are perfect, and when they act out of line, it goes against the expectation and they face backlash because of it. This can lead to unrealistic expectations for fans who may feel like they need to look and act like their idols in order to be accepted. They are normal, well-rounded people with gifts and flaws, and there's nothing wrong with being fabulous one day and having a crappy day the next. Let's normalize high anxiety and be ready to flip out at any given moment, because the stress from choosing what I want for dinner is too much to bear. Joseph! I need you to make dinner. This is too much for me right now. Adding to that, let's talk about K-pop apologies. Sad to say, but there have been instances in which allegations are made against an idol, and instead of addressing it or suing for defamation, some companies opt for a quick apology to brush it all under the table and move on. The worst are when idols are forced to apologize when they've never done anything wrong, or worse, resign from the label and severely damage their reputations and careers. And most often, it's the result of shitty fans, and I will never forgive them for this. You can't spell pretty without petty, bitch. Moving on, another one is the live singing, and that's in quotes. These days, it's becoming increasingly difficult to determine if our beloved idols are actually singing live anymore. A lot of times, they're recording live vocals ahead of time and then lip-syncing to the previously recorded version. Who's to say that the company enhances and fixes the vocals before they go on stage too? Back then, we got stages like this. I'd much rather have this, because then you know they're singing. I need my babies panting and wheezing. But seriously, this helps the listener know who really stands out amongst the rest, in my opinion. Though, when you think about it, exaggerating the talents of idols tends to be a bigger problem. Next one up are the various kinds of fan service. I've been in K-pop for well over a decade now, and I still find the whole idea of idol fan service to be kind of weird. From skinship to aegyo to you name it, idols engaging in questionable acts to entertain the fans. Is it always genuine? Hell no. These are hardworking, talented performers who just need a day off every now and then. Stop expecting our idols to be on all the time. This is K-pop, not OnlyFans. Adding to that, let's talk about baiting. This is related to the skinship idea. Baiting occurs in all forms, not exclusive to queer baiting. But K-pop loves to tap into various niches to tap into new demographics to expand its fan base. Sometimes it works, other times it backfires. Again, it comes back to if it's genuine or not, but usually it's another K-pop concept. But seriously, the only baiting that's acceptable is when I ask you all to like and subscribe to this channel. I am working very hard to achieve 100,000 subscribers, and I need you all to take the bait here. I really appreciate all your support. Another is global marketing. K-pop has capitalized on the free promotions from fans. Fans either doing translations, compilations, really anything that the labels can then turn around and hawk as a feature that they didn't lift one finger to produce. I personally felt duped participating in the SM marketing contest back in 2013. It was a several-month process of me providing ideas and such to the company with the hopes of landing an internship, only to turn around and be told I didn't get the job. But they certainly took all my projects and hard work that went with it, and I guarantee they used some of our ideas because the contest allowed them to own the material submitted. But on a serious note, I am considering starting a vlog series on all my experiences in Korea and K-pop and sharing my advice on living Korea here on this channel. This SM story is its own video, I feel. What do you guys think? Share below in the comments. Shifting gears, let's talk about pre-order sales. In recent years in the K-pop world, I started to see a huge uptick in pre-order sales of albums. K-pop fans are expected to just hope the title track is a banger along with a decent catalog of B-sides. It's unknown until you receive it. In the Western music scene, artists put out a song or two before the album drops, which we call singles. And that's a revenue generator that also builds buzz for the actual album without making them pre-order. It sucks if you pre-order for a comeback that ends up not being your cup of tea. In economics, that's called a sunk cost. Me here at the Dare to Be channel strive to be fun and educational. You're welcome. Now let's talk about the underwear models. Oh. Every so often you find male K-pop idols as an underwear model. I mean, these guys have amazing bodies, but what makes me pause dramatically and raise an eyebrow is the fans making statements like, looking respectfully, or complimenting the size of his manhood. I hate to break it to you, but that's not how our equipment lays. Most underwear models often wear a silicone cup like this to enhance their bulges and to remove the visibility of the outline. You heard me. It is all a lie. On the bright side though, now they have a place to keep their ID, credit cards, and phones while they're doing a shoot. Next big lie is the plastic surgery. South Korea is the #1 country in the world for plastic surgery, and there's no doubt that many of our idols partake in some form of plastic surgery. There's nothing wrong with doing that if that's what they want, but don't be naive and defend an idol saying they lost weight or changed their makeup to cover up the idea that they decided to get plastic surgery. If they decide to wake up one day $10,000 in a hole and less biodegradable, then so be it. That is none of our business. And another one, negative aspects hidden. The K-pop industry can be very demanding, and idols often work long hours and have little time for privacy. They may also be subject to intense pressure from their companies and fans. The K-pop industry may not always be truthful about these challenges, which can lead fans to believe that being an idol is all glamour and no hard work. Idols may say that they only want you, but let's be real, what they really need is some damn therapy and a vacation. And lastly, thinking all idols are straight. All these idols are always asked about their ideal types of the opposite sex. It's automatically assumed they're straight, and fans and companies expect them to be. Money is made when they're shown as available to the fans. But it's laughable to me when they think they're all straight though, because I see right through that bullshit. Sorry, I had to cut away. I had to laugh for a second. Straight as a rainbow, sweetheart. But seriously, be yourself. You're an artist and showcase the side you're meant to show. And the true fans will find you. Hey, that's it for today, K-pop fam. Let me know in the comments other situations K-pop might have been scamming us. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons for me. Check out many more of my videos while you're here, and I shall see you next time.